Okay, now here's some friends of mine. Paul comes from the Iron Range, and Paul Metsa here is a guy that I also first saw in the early 80s. At the first time I saw him was over at the Coffee House Extempore when I was a teenager, and I think I'm pretty glad that we got to be friends over the years. Maybe not. No, I'm glad. And we had a lot of other experiences over in Northeast Minneapolis. But Paul does a lot of these things, like these. He's got these radio shows going on, and he's done some really neat tributes for John. There was a thing a couple few years ago that they recorded and videoed over at PALMER'S with John talking about stuff, and it turned out really neat. A few different episodes of John talking about different things that happened back in the day. And so in the last few weeks, we've done some radio shows, and Paul here he's good at asking the right questions. So he asked me, so did John ever give you any good advice? Like, well, he advised me on a few things, and so one that came up was, now this was just back in February, not too long ago. I was getting ready to go ice fishing. He's like, all right, so you're going up there, what are you going to bring to drink? And he's like, well, I'm going to bring some Jim Beam probably. He's like, I think what you're supposed to bring is blackberry brandy. I was like, you know what? I think you might be right. I think that's what we'll do. So we got some, and it was great. And he had another one.
Check 1 2. Check 1 2.
This other one happened at least 20 years ago, but we were just hanging out backstage at a gig that Paul set up at this funky place in Northeast Minneapolis. And John and I were hanging out looking for the free drinks. He was like, well, they got some beer over here. And both of us had to play. And John said, well, yeah, I like beer, but I don't really like to drink it when I have to sing, because I would hate to belch in the middle of a phrase in a song.
You don't have a guitar pick, do you? Serious.
So that was good advice as well. You'd want to stick to something that wasn't carbonated when you're actually have to sing.
Hey, 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 yeah, 1 2.
You guys ready?
1 2 3 4.
Hey man, we got Paul Metsa and Sonny Earl.
Thank you very much. You're not going to believe this. Now, I've had picks fall into a sound hole of an acoustic guitar, but when I was tuning up, I dropped my guitar pick, the only one I carry, into the F hole. Seriously, does anybody have a guitar pick? Fortunately, I can play fingerstyle. Got to pick. Somebody's got to.
You know, John was legendary for dropping his picks into the sound hole. There's documented times that he did it. I've got like a written one that says, "Oh yeah, John was playing. He dropped his pick into the sound hole."
Well, there you go.
And
He's
somehow
screwing with me.
he like flipped his guitar above his head and got it out. And I remember a gig at First Avenue when John had like he had a few beers and did the same thing, and on the First Avenue stage, like trying to shake the guitar pick out. So you're not the only one, Paul. It's in the Koerner tradition.
Huh? Yeah. All right, there we go. There's a few people that I think we should acknowledge. Let's hear for MCN6. They are streaming the show tonight. They will also be replaying the show at various times, so just go to mcn6.org. So, and there's one very special guy here I was very excited to see. One of the prime movers back in Dinkytown. He used to get things going at the 10 o'clock Scholar. He's gracing us with his presence. Let's hear it for the great Red Nelson. All right, Red. This one goes out to you. And John's number roll call, Whistling Past the Graveyard. Hit it hard. Gonna play matches, baby. Matches will start fires. Keep your feet above the flames when you are walking on the wire. Life is sweet, but time is short. Keep your train on the tracks, or when you're whistling past the graveyard, and the graveyard whistles back. Don't forget your mother. She brought you in this world. You are the dream that she once had since she was just a little girl. Send her cards and flowers, and don't step on the cracks, or when you're whistling past the graveyard, and the graveyard whistles back. This world don't owe you nothing. It don't even know your name. You might be a king or queen, but the end is going to treat you just the same. So drop your crumbs before you leave. Don't cover up your tracks. And when you whistle past the graveyard, and the graveyard whistles back. Sonny Earl. Go to your confession. Read your horoscope. Tell a white lie to a rabbi. Make a collect call to the Pope. With the same faith that will save you may also break your back. Or when you're whistling past the graveyard and the graveyard whistles back. You might be in a wheelchair or have a step so light. Go around the world in 80 days at the speed of light. But everything that has been given to you will one day be taken back. Or when you're wishing past the graveyard and the graveyard whistles back. Or when you're whistling past the graveyard and the graveyard whistles back. Or when you're whistling past the graveyard. And that graveyard whistles back.
It's Paul Metsa.
Thank you very much. Sonny and I are celebrating our 25th year of playing together. I'm looking at this crowd, seeing all these old friends and going, where the hell did the time go? All right.
Check one. Hey, hey.
Now I was lucky enough, I've got a radio show in Minneapolis. I did 2 John Koerner tributes
1, 2.
on AM 950. I'm going to do one more. I've had Dakota Dave Hull and Charlie Parr and Papa John Kolstad on. And I did 3. I got a TV show on MCN6, and I had 3 episodes with Spider John Koerner. So we're going to get them all up on my website so you can take time and listen to what'll be 3 radio shows, 3 TV shows. Just go to paulmetsa.com and everything will be there. Now, we figured, John, as you know, I bet everybody that I'm looking at right now has a John Koerner story, right? Sometime he met John and he was a sound play. And I mean, the guy's gonna, in a few years, gonna enter Paul Bunyan territory in terms of Minnesota Miss. But John influenced not only everybody in Minnesota, but people over in London. We're gonna do a song. Now, we don't do any David Bowie and we don't do any Beatles, but we do a song by a man that John had quite a bit of influence on. And you probably know the chorus, so please sing along. This is a little Bobby Dylan song called Tangled Up in blue.
Early one morning, sun shining, I was laying in bed. Wondered if she changed it all, and her hair was still red. Her folks said our life together, so it's gonna be rough. Never did like mama, so me dressed by a bank wasn't big enough. Heart sitting on the side of the road, brain falling on my shoe. Heading out to the East Coast, Lord knows I paid on to getting through.
Tangled up in blue. Sing along now.
Not a job in the great North Woods, I was working on cooking spell. Never did like it, oh how much one day the ashes fell. Drifted down to New Orleans, was lucky enough to be employed. Working for a while in a fishing boat just outside of Delacroix. All the while I was alone, my past was close behind. Still a lot of women, but she never left my mind. It just grew.
Tangled up in blue.
She was working at a topless place, and I stepped in for the beer. Just get looking at the side of her face, and the spotlight so clear. Later on, when the cloud thinned out, I was just about to do the same. She's standing there on the back of my chair. She said, "Son, I know your name." My son, underneath my breath, she stared at the line on my face. Must have been having a little uneasy, but she stepped down the tide of laces on my shoe.
Tangled up in blue.
She lit up on the stove and she offered me a pipe. Thought she never said hello, she said, "You look like a silent type." Opened up a book of poems, she handed it to me. One of my wild fishing boats just outside of Delacroix. All the while I was alone, my past was close behind. Said a lot of women, she never left my mind. They just grew tangled up in blue.
Oh, Sonny got it now. One more.
Lived with him on Montague Street, basement down the stairs. Music in the cafes at night, revolution in the air. Then it started dinner, slaves on the sun that inside will die. Yeah, it set everything on and froze up inside. When the bottom finally bit out, I became destroyed. Had to do everything I knew and to keep on like a bird that flew. Tangled up in blue. Tangled up in blue. Tangled up in blue. Tangled up in blue. Tangled up in blue.
Bobby Dylan there for you. Student of Spider John. All right, we got time for one more. We're so honored to be here. I got Spider Blues in 1973 when I was 17 years old. 7 years later, I moved down to Minneapolis in 1978, hanging out at PALMER'S bar, and I finally summoned the courage to go say hello to Spider John. And I sidled up next to him. I bought him a shot of Jim Beam and a beer and introduced myself. And I was thinking about the great record, Running, Jumping, Standing Still. And I said, John, you ever going to play with a band again? And John paused and he said, oh man, he goes, anybody can play with me, he said, but I can't play with anybody else. And I said, oh master, I will now go to the mountain and contemplate and be back in 6 months and tell you what I figured out. So we're going to do this song, a song that was Woody Guthrie's favorite song. I always thought Woody wrote this, but no less an authority than Pete Seeger told me that it was actually Woody's favorite song. Damn guitar was in tune when I bought it. As we all know, it's an end of an era. But I'd be remiss if I didn't dedicate this to Spider John Koerner, Dave Snaker Ray, and Tony Little Son Glover. This is a song written by Gebel Reeves called Hobo's Lullaby. One more time, hold on. There it is. Go to sleep, you weary hobo. Let tomorrow come and go. Tonight you're sleeping in a nice one boxcar. Safe from all the wind and snow. I know the police are causing you trouble. They cause trouble everywhere. But when you die and you float up to heaven, no policeman there. Play that harp. I know your clothes are torn and ragged. And your hair is turned gray. Lift your head, smile at trouble. You'll find happiness someday. Go to sleep, you weary hobo. Let the towns go rolling by. Can't you feel that steering rumble? That's the whole boat's lullaby. Let's play it, Sonny. Play it out. Long live Spider John Koerner. Thank you very much. Sonny Earl, Paul Metsa. Have a beautiful day. Love you, everybody.
Well, that's our friend Paul. Gotta love this guy. He's from Virginia, and he lives in Duluth now. It's great.